Happy anniversary to the Park Point Art Fair. Artist John Michael Cook and the music of Shaunna Heckman and Friends. That's next on the playlist.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
When the Park Point Art Fair started in 1971, a hardy group of about a dozen Duluth artists planted their flag on Park Point. 40 years later, the event has grown into one of the city's favorite summer events. Carla Tamburo and Karen Munson-Thompson are here to fill us in. They both spent some time coordinating the art fair, and I bet you know kind of what's coming up. Particularly you, Carla, you're the coordinator for this year.
Yes, I am.
So what are you most excited about this year?
Well, I'm always most excited about the artists, 120 juried artists, and seeing a lot of familiar faces and just having a great fun weekend.
Longevity is the thing that amazes me. Seriously, 40 years, a volunteer organization and all of the coordination that goes into it. We have actually a picture of one of the earlier posters, and it's very cute to see that poster up against this year's poster. You want to tell me about where it all started?
Well, I think that poster might have been designed by Pat Joyle, who started the art fair. So, you know, she was very much hands-on in what was going on. And things have, you know, changed even between that one and the first poster. The seagull was a very familiar logo for many years that I used most of the time when I was doing the show. So. Pretty interesting to see that combination side by side.
Give me a sense of what happens at the Park Point. If someone has never been there, what can you expect?
Well, sunshine and walking through and seeing
excellent
ceramics, painting, fiber arts, photography, printmaking, lots of various media, all fine art and fine craft, very high caliber, and there'll also be music by Michael Monroe, and food, fair food, so if you want your mini donuts.
Yeah, well, mini donuts are right up there. That is a major food group, isn't it?
Yes.
And then there's also art making activities. We'll be making driftwood mobiles.
Oh, fun.
So cool.
Very fun. And you kind of mentioned that it's kind of like a big get-together, that you see old friends. I mean, give me a sense of kind of the community aspect. What do you see there? Who's there?
My neighbors. I've seen plenty of my neighbors that I haven't seen in a while. They've been in hibernation, and so it's fun to see all those familiar faces. Lots of planning that goes into this for the weeks leading up to the fair. And lots of dedicated volunteers. It's a very important event for the community. It funds programs on the point, our youth program, and also environmental programs. So it's an important time for our community.
And we were talking, this is a little bit different than just, I mean, you have held a standard, I guess. It is a juried show, so tell me what makes the Park Point Art Fair different than some of the other events you might attend.
Well, being juried means that the artists are judged. They submit slides or images of their work, and they're juried by a group of their peers and given a score. I think you probably still do a score, maybe. And then, you know, the highest scores, of course, get in, rather than just, you know, calling and saying, can I get a table, and, you know, setting up. So it's a standard that was started with the beginning of the art fair, and, you know, through 40 years, they've maintained that standard, so it's a really good thing.
It's a ton of work and a lot of fun, and rain or shine.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've been doing the rain dance, and you're ready to go. Yes.
Yeah.
And you said it's a 2-day event, so if you get not a nice day for one of them, the other day is generally pretty nice. And it's this weekend, right?
This weekend, day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Hours are?
10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And you said they come early and stay late, so we recommend 10 to 5, right?
Yes.
There's lots to do. You can spend a
Lots
day
to
down
see.
there.
So.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming in and telling us about it. I am doing my best to send you some good rain, not rain, rain out
rain.
now, be done, and hopefully you'll have some great weather and a great event.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back right after this.
My name is Kathy Champeau, and we're in Big Fork, Minnesota at the Edge Center for the Performing Arts, and we are standing in the gallery. The goal of this gallery is to bring as many different types of art that we possibly can bring of very high quality. Our juried show, which is coming up next month, is 27 different artists with all kinds of different art. They go everywhere from fine furniture to Adirondack twig furniture, pottery, oil painting, abstracts, a couple of pencil drawings by young people. One little gal's 12. And one of the advantages that this gallery has that a lot of galleries don't have is we're attached to the theater. This show will be seen by probably close to 1,000 people. And the people that come during performances come from International Falls, Bemidji, Hibbing, Grand Rapids, Fort Francis, the whole area. I think it adds to the rich fabric that we already have in the Big Fork community. Not only do we have some fine, fine local artists, but we are starting to attract artists from out of the area, like this show. The word is getting out that we have a quality gallery. And who knows, out of the artists that entered, we might find an artist that's willing to do a one-person show.
Great artwork has the ability to inspire and communicate some big ideas. According to Hibbing artist John Michael Cook, art is the visual language of our culture. John is an illustrator and a fine artist with plenty to say. Currently, he's working on a Duluth portfolio filled with oil paintings, watercolors, pen and ink. It's all there. And it's a gift from his heart to the city he loves.
Outside, because the elements are so fragile, you have to move so fast, you really don't have a lot of time to overguess, overwork it. You just do it. It'll take a lot more detail, and it'll take probably an hour or two for the paper to dry before I can do heavy details to it. I try to get down here every Tuesday. I try to spend the entire day painting, drawing, sketching, photographing, or capturing in some way, or building an archive. And over the last 7 or 8 years, I've experimented with all kinds of images to say, this is the things that I want to do. The watercolors that's the ones that are back over here. These are what you call day art. That's where you take the little easel like this and you go out and you do watercolors on site, and that's where you learn to paint in front of people. There are some things you can do in watercolor you can't do in anything else. It's just so expressive and so immediate. I kind of paint to myself. I don't really paint to the audience, but you can't say that you don't think about it. I just like to do it, and I get that place you go when you paint that makes you feel good for doing it. Look at the collection I'm painting, you have to decide for yourself whether you like or dislike it, but it's my take on what I think Duluth looks like. Right in the middle of, like here, this area right here, I like the little turquoise wall up there. I think it's really cool. There's no reason for it. It doesn't match anything. Nobody else will ever get it, but I liked it. There's something fascinating about architecture and nature when they mix on a skyline. The paintings might look the same at first, but when you start looking at the whole collection I'm doing, I have paintings of buildings, I'm making paintings of water, paintings of seagulls, paintings of people, transportation, and all the elements that make up a community. Pretty much all that humanity is can be found right here in Duluth. Outside, there is a difference in your paintings because it's real and you're not doing it off a photograph. You see it for what it is. It's always changing and you become a part of the painting. So that's kind of why I like to paint outside, is it's just very alive. It's very, I think it's good for the soul and the spirit and the paintbrush. It didn't take too long anyway, did it?
His sharp bell ring, list phone, and hears a voice like Holy Ghost. To sing in this space in general, this is a space that's made for singing.
The Lake Superior Chamber Orchestra has always kind of pushed the envelope. We like to do some things occasionally that are a little bit edgy. The last time we did it, it was in the theater at Marshall School. So now doing it here, where actually the cathedral becomes the set, it will be very exciting, I think.
It's essentially a kind of science fiction. It's Ray Bradbury. He's the last guy on Mars, and he's only the last guy because they came to pick up everybody else, and he was out on a job or something. And he's just there by himself. And so he set up this thing where the phones are going to call him.
This young Emil Barton, who makes these recordings, and then they become a way of terrorizing the elderly Emil Barton.
All of a sudden the phone rings and he's thinking, how can this be? And it turns out, in fact, to be himself.
Well, we still have the recordings of the young Bill Bastion 20 years ago, so we'll use those.
Such dumb, brute, lost electronic beast.
One night, July 7th, be here or be square.
The Lake Superior Chamber Orchestra performs all 4 Wednesdays in June. Night Call Collect at Sacred Heart is part of the kickoff concert. The other 3 events feature a variety of classical music and soloists. Those performances are at the Weber Music Hall on the campus of UMD, and you can check out our website for more information. And now I have the great pleasure of introducing tonight's musical guests. Please welcome Shaunna Heckman and friends in her playlist debut. Take it away. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Wow, you fill this room with a lot of sound and a great energy. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Tell me a little bit about this group you have. Shaunna Heckman, who are you hanging out with?
Who am I hanging out with? We have Dickie Brooks on piano, Kyle Keegan playing drums, and Tim Nelson on guitar.
And tell me, I mean, 2 keyboards. This is unusual, or at least I haven't experienced that. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. We actually met because my keyboard wasn't working, and I just heard through a friend that he might be able to fix it.
Yeah, so I fixed it.
So he fixed it. And then we actually just started playing together because I brought my keyboard over, and I was like, wow, you're an amazing player. And I basically just told him that he was going to play homegrown with me. I was like, you're doing it. You're going to play with
choices.
You don't have any choice.
No.
And
So
do you write your own music, and then how do you coordinate 2 keyboards? Do you improvise, or how does that work?
I play around her.
yeah.
I let her start
basically.
it, and then I move around it.
Very neat. Very neat. And CD in the works? I mean, you're going to go places, guys. Are you ready?
We just recorded a demo. It's in the process right now at Sacred Heart with Tom Fab Jans. So that's a start. It's 3 songs. Get those down. We're adding the other element. I mean, we usually have electronic components added to the music, which we're not doing tonight, but Tom's kind of working on that right now. And then, yeah, it builds. We have Matt Mobley that usually plays the bass, sometimes maybe a cello, strings, but
I just love the combination of all of your music together in this arrangement. So where are you going to play next? Where can I, you have your eye on some things?
next Thursday at the Teatro, it's going with Coyote and Hattie Peterson. It's going to be the same group that performed for Homegrown. Starts at 7 o'clock.
Fantastic.
Do it there, yeah. It's
And
really
then
good.
do you have your sights set on doing some traveling around and doing more gigs? What's your goals with this group?
Yeah, I would like
when
to
Tim's
think
not
so.
in Arizona and Kyle's not, tearing down sets and stuff.
That's right.
I think so. I mean, we have some smaller things, weddings this summer. I recently just was in touch with a relative of mine that works for Fox in Chicago, and he just started booking events with the venue down there and actually expressed interest in having us come there. Don't know when that would be, maybe this fall, this winter, but it's an option. So we'll see. I definitely see it going somewhere.
And where does your inspiration come from for your music?
Oh gosh.
And do you start with piano or you start with lyrics?
I usually start with a lyrical melody and then try and find it on the keyboard. And if it doesn't work, then I'll try and switch it around. But usually the lyrics come first, or the idea, something that I want to write about.
And then how hard is that to follow?
Easy. So easy. She makes the music so easy to play.
Well,
So it's fun.
the both of you, I wrote down actually that there are piano teachers smiling somewhere across the whole
Of
country
course.
just listening.
Right.
Thank you. Music teachers of all sorts. So again, we have music coming up 1 week from tonight, Teatro Zuccone. Make sure you get down there, and we'll be back right after this.
This play has been really, really fun. We've gotten to do a lot of stuff that I haven't done before. We've done a lot of fight training. All the pirate stuff is just awesome. Look at these costumes. It's really, really great work by all the costume designers, great volunteers. It's been really, really fun.
Well, because of our small set, we have to have a very versatile stage, and the pieces on the set stay on the set. They just get rearranged into different configurations to show a different place, and then the lights help. And the kids have given me about 3 or 4 weekends, along with 2 hours a night, 5 nights a week for 7, 8 weeks.
It was really challenging. We put hours into especially the fight scenes, but it made the play, it really added a lot to the play.
This was just a great experience that I really learned from, because this was a very challenging role. All the lines and footwork for the fights, but it was really a great experience, yeah.
Talk is free, and liberty is generous.
This is our last show of this run of the playlist, but we'll continue to post updates and events on the web and on Facebook as we ramp up for a new season of the playlist coming this fall. So join us online anytime and send along your suggestions for the playlist. We'll leave you with another original song from Shaunna Heckman. Our sincere thanks go to everyone who have helped us work on the playlist this year. Have a great summer and put some great art experiences on your playlist.
All tied up in a jumble of thoughts that leave me standing, spinning, going nuts. I say in a couple of days it'll fade. Oh, how wrong to think this way, to think there's not gonna be a price to pay. Oh, hell no, gonna have to deal with it someday. To plan this life is a silly thing to believe we control the timing of everything. Oh, I'm fooled and well played by you. To think this long that something's wrong, but you put it aside and you just carry on. And oh my God, it's harder than you thought. Who's on fire? Who's on fire now? And I don't know why, and I don't know how to make it easy. Who's on fire? Who's on fire now? And I don't know why, and I don't know how. Who's on fire? Who's on fire now? And I don't know why, and I don't know how to make it easy. To make it easy. Get up now, open your eyes. It's time to realize that you're gonna be fine. What are you waiting for? Some big grand surprise. Come knock on your door. Say it's alright. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Waiting for, waiting for. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Waiting for, waiting for. What are you
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and by viewers like you.